Welcome. I'm Bryant, along with my wife Steph. We're the Wandering Buckeyes. In this episode, we're going to take you to French Lick, Indiana. So this place was founded in French Lick, Indiana, was founded in 1857. It became a health resort of sorts for therapeutic mineral waters in the local area. There's two resorts in the area. One is in French Lick, the French Lick Hotel on the historical national hotels. The other one about a mile away is West Baden Springs, where we'll be staying. We felt this would be a perfect time for a 3-day getaway back in June with shopping, golfing, and a reduced pace from our normal trips. We're going to show you around the property, take you through the different hotels, the golfing, the restaurants, the little bit of a downtown, and just give you a flavor for this place for like I said, a 2-day, 3-night getaway. So let's get to it. French Lick is a resort that was built in 1845. A place where you can sample the original tomato juice where it was created here in 1917. Discover why Pluto water, with its mineral benefits, would be world famous to hundreds of celebrities that stay here. And that Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics, who was born here in West Baden and grew up in nearby French Lick, known as the Hick from French Lick, went on to be the only person named Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, Finals Most Valuable Player, All-Star Most Valuable Player, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year. Turning here into the entrance, we see the West Baden Springs Hotel. It's part of the French Lick Resort, and it's a National Historic Landmark hotel. Just a mile away from French Lick Hotel, this opened in 1902. The original hotel was destroyed by fire in 1981. It was rebuilt, caught fire again in 1901, and at that time, Lee Wiley Sinclair was one of the several investors of the resort, decided to build a circular-shaped hotel to make it fireproof. Its dome measuring 200 feet across and took only 270 days to complete. Back then, inside they had gambling, a live theater, opera, concerts, movies, bowling, billiards, and more. There's a fireplace in the atrium that can accommodate a 14-foot fire log. Imagine carrying that in the winter. Outdoors, there were 2 golf courses, horseback riding, baseball, hiking, trails, bicycling on a double-deck track, and a trolley that took guests to French Lick Resort. So famous was this hotel that it's now considered in today's world the Disney World of their time, and those coming to America for vacation, if they could afford it, will come here to French Lick in West Baden. Both of these hotels offer several paid tours to dive deeper into the history of these beautiful hotels, the surrounding countryside, and many of its famous guests. Let's take a walk inside and I'll give you a tour around. Here's this 200-foot dome that we see spanning the circular hotel. 6 floors it has, several hundred, maybe about 500 rooms. Very nicely appointed. It was always very quiet there. On the left, coming in here, was a restaurant, and Sinclair's, the fine dining we'll see later. Right here we see the front entrance if you walk up through the front, and the lobby and where we checked in, and down that little hallway there was ice cream. Coming into our room, it was beautiful. I mean, as you can see, the room here is just well appointed. Lots of space inside this room. I think it was about $246 per night. So we stayed 2 nights, taxes and all that, so well under the $600 mark for a nice anniversary getaway. This rug here I found really interesting. See where it points south there to the right? You watch this as you go further and further around because it's circular, that this compass rose moves to always show you where true south is, north, east, or west. So you can walk around the whole thing. It's pretty cool. So we decided to go downstairs. We'll take the elevator and run down there and do some more exploring. Here's this fireplace that could accommodate a 14-foot log. Imagine carrying that thing in for the winter. And here's Sinclair's. It's only open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Anyway, the point is the night we were there, we wanted to have dinner there for our anniversary. It was closed, so unfortunately we were unable to go there. You'll see later we went to the 1875 restaurant steakhouse. Here was a little museum that was on site. I really found this interesting because it showed you some of the before and after pictures of the fire when the construction was being ongoing back in 1901 for the dome that was being put on. Here's a photo right here that you can see the before and after, another before and after at the veranda. And back then it was considered the 8th wonder of the world. I guess that was self-proclaimed. And then they have 2 swimming pools. This is the indoor pool. And again, imagine this, the celebrities that would have came here back in the early 1900s. A nice swimming pool for indoors. And then to the right, there's an outdoor pool. Plenty of towels, free water, bottles, all that sort of thing. Headed out to dinner at the 1875 steakhouse. We're going to take the trolley that runs between the 2 resorts. This trolley started in 1909. It was electric. It offered guests front door service between the 2 hotels. Later in 1911, a trolley station was built to protect the guests from the elements. Today we ride on a restored rail, gas-powered trolley that runs on tracks that were relayed. And while the car is not the original car, it was restored to look nearly identical. Now this right here is the French Lick Hotel. I'll give you an aerial view of that. We're going to take a tour through this, have dinner here, look around. After we departed the trolley, we hiked it up this little hill. It looks equally beautiful from the front. And then as we make our way up the stairs and into the front entrance, this hotel as well is on the National Historic Places for hotels. Inside it just does not disappoint. It's just beautiful throughout. Here's the steakhouse that we're going to enjoy a nice dinner with my lovely wife here. It was a wonderful evening just to relax. Afterwards, we decided to walk around, take a look at the rest of the hotel. Outdoor in the pool area, of course, they had an indoor pool, as you can see here, and then further on out, they have an outdoor pool. With plenty of seating. The traffic, as you can see, was very light. I don't think it was a holiday weekend, and just not a lot of guests around there on a Monday, Tuesday. So it's mostly over the weekend. Ornate throughout the place. You just kept looking. The more you looked, even the ceilings were covered with just beautiful paintings. Here we see more of the ceilings with their ornate look. And here we see the wall with all the famous artists and guests that have stayed here from current time to even back in the day. I mean, it was just really neat to go around and see all the names and faces of the people that you love from the entertainment industry and all who had visited here. Plenty of shopping, of course. I mean, there was knick-knack shops, golf shops. They even had a pet shop, so that if you wanted items for your pet, all down through this corridor here. Here's a little model depicting the West Baden Hotel where we are staying, and you can kind of get an idea what it looks like there from the air. And on down through here is the conference center, so there was a conference going on at this time. They take advantage of that, so any businesses that might want to do something like that, it's a great place to have it. And here's the Pluto water. So this is the water that's bottled locally from back in the day. I think they even still bottle it there today. The mineral water is supposed to provide all these health benefits, I suppose. A restaurant here in the French Lick Hotel. That power board there that you see is the original electrical distribution board from this hotel that's been restored and put inside the restaurant there. Of course, coming into this restaurant, I got a little bored, but then I saw chocolate. I thought, well, I like chocolate and I like ice cream, so plenty of chocolate here, plenty of ice cream, and even had a lot of neat golf things for me down at the end of the quarter, so I headed down that way while my wife took off on the other end. Lots of nice shopping around here and bicycling. You can see here that you can rent bicycles for up to 4 or 6 people, I believe it is. So I decided to go take a look in here and see what this is all about. Got some information from this young lady of all the things to do in the local area. Got some brochures. Found out there's also a casino. While we don't gamble, but thought I'd go down there and take a look at that. Of course, I couldn't film any of that stuff. They didn't want us doing any filming down through there. But it looked pretty nice in there. It had some restaurants in there as well. And this is the trolley that's headed from French Lick Hotel back to the West Baden. But we opted not to take it back because they have a shuttle service here that's quite nice. And I'll explain a bit of that here in a moment. At the end of the day, we took our tour, decided to walk along the veranda that's at the French Lick Hotel. Of course, they have an ice cream store here as well, but I'm going to hit the one back at the West Baden later tonight. And it's just a lot of relaxing and just hanging around. It's just a beautiful place just to really decompress, shut the phones off, except for our cameras, and just a peaceful area just to kind of hang out. So the trolleys here and everything was kind of nice, is that they pick you up. It's either one of these, and they will literally take you anywhere you want to go within the French Lick area. The town's not that large, so it's pretty easy to do. And you just tell them where you want to go. They'll give you a phone number to call and pick you back up when you're done. And so you can literally leave your car there. I did have to stop by Zach's and get some ice cream, so got a scoop or two here for the evening before we decided to go off and look outside the beautiful grounds. Outside, they're well manicured. We can see the fountains here. Some of the recreation buildings in the distance there, they're being renovated. This one here is the opposite side of that view. There's a bowling alley in here, billiards. It's being restored. Unfortunately, it wasn't available for us. I think it's going to be open later in 2025, so you'll be able to have some billiards, bowling, that sort of thing in the rec room that's just off-site the property there. The more we drive around, walk around this property, it just amazes me, the beauty of it and how it was built in the early 1900s. And just the money that, imagine it would have cost to build something like this. Here you can see they're still doing some restoration. The front entrance here that leads you up into the front lobby, of course we went into the back side where we can drop our car and came in through the atrium that way. They always have carriage rides. There's bicycling, as I mentioned before, the trolley. So you really don't need to have a car. They even have this shuttle here that takes people on tours if you want to tour some of the things with the narrative of what's going on around the area. Once again, we're taking off to go out into town this time. French Lick is a very small town, but there's some nice eclectic little shops down there that we'll see here in a moment. But first we had to stop for some breakfast. The clouds came and went, but this place right here was really some down-home food cooking. And prices were very reasonable, not crowded at all, and just felt like you weren't a stranger at all, that you'd been a local all your life here, the way they treat you. Down through the streets here were some nice little shops. We decided to take on there. There's a little photo of the Pluto from the mineral bottle and the mineral springs in the water. We stopped in this place here. There's a coffee shop, ice cream shop, of course, a museum, and all kinds of little knick-knack things that you typically find in a tourist area. So little Willie Nelson and Elvis going on there together. I don't know if that ever really happened, but who knows. Later on, I got me a coffee over here at this coffee shop. It's pretty neat. I really like the ice cream store name. It's called, watch it on the wall, French Licks. What a cool name. Here's the museum. Of course, it was Monday the day we came here. It seems like most things were closed on Monday, so be aware of that, including this museum. So it had a 5 and dime store inside, a lot of memorabilia about Larry Bird, the basketball player from Boston Celtics, as well as old time games and crafts and that sort of thing. So unfortunately it was closed. So all we got was a peek through the glass. So then we return back into the French Lick Resort. This time we're going to go to the back of the property. So the dome that you see there, the red dome, that's the casino. We're going to follow that around, and we're going to go to the back of the property, and they have this new little golf course. I wouldn't really call it a golf course as much as it's a maybe a high-end putt-putt, but actually there I am trudging my way with my clubs. So they've got 9 holes here. It's kind of interesting. The holes are anywhere from 44 to 70 yards. That's it. So, you're only using a putter, pitching wedge, maybe a 7 or 9, 8 iron, that sort of thing. This is the course here. It's kind of fun. It's all kind of compacted together, well manicured. For $40, you got to go around it twice so you could get your 18 holes in. And I actually found it a bit challenging because you really had to have a good short game. No drivers here, of course. But there are several other golf courses around the area as well that are, full feature, the full distances. But again, this was pretty neat. So this time we decided to go up to the Pete Dye golf course. Now this is the premium golf course in the area, and you'll find out as we get up near the golf course as to why that is. The entrance is just as beautiful as the golf course. Again, everything in French Lick just seems to be so well taken care of here. From the grounds to the buildings, and the people are just very welcoming here. So this is our entrance. You finally get to the clubhouse, clear at the top of the hill. You got a nice panoramic view of the 18 holes. Maybe it was more than that. Now that I think about it, maybe it was 27. At any rate, the rates here are quite steep. So expect about $400 for a round. Yes, I said $400. Plus you have to have a caddy, I think, for about $50 plus tips. So you could be closing in on $500 to play this course. I didn't see too many trees or many water holes, so I don't think there's many hazards, but a lot of hills and dips and dives like you'd see over in Ireland or over in England, and challenging courses like that over there. So well, that completes our tour of French Lick, Indiana, where we've seen the French Lick Resorts, French Lick Hotel, and the West Baden Hotel, golf courses, downtown, and more. We want to thank you for watching this episode of the Wandering Buckeyes. In an upcoming video, we're going to take you west out to Palm Springs, where we're staying in Palm Desert, get a look at the area out through there, Joshua Tree National Park, and with a short day trip down to San Diego.